welcome. You're watching Express News, where we bring you a quick wrap-up of all that's making news from around the world. I'm Samriddhi Goyal. Let's get started. In continuation to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's announcement on repealing the 3 farm laws, the Union Cabinet today in a press meeting said the Cabinet has completed the formalities to repeal the 3 farm laws. Union Minister Anurag Singh Thakur, the upcoming session of the Parliament, complete procedure to take back the 3 farm laws will be the government's priority. Union Cabinet approves the extension for the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana Phase 5 for a period of another 4 months. Food grains at 5 kilo per person per month, free of cost for all the beneficiaries covered under the NFSA, will be continued now till March of 2022. Food grain under Phase 5 would entail an estimated food subsidy of rupees 53,344.52 crore. Supreme Court says that measures have to be taken in anticipation to stop air pollution. Here's plea pertaining to the issue of the worrying air pollution levels in the national capital. Has asked Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh on emission control methods adopted by them. The next hearing will now be on November 29th. The Delhi government has decided to reopen schools, colleges, educational institutions from the 29th of November in the capital. Also allows entry of all CNG electric vehicles into Delhi from 27th of November. The entry of all the other vehicles will be remained banned till the 3rd of December. Delhi's air quality has slipped into the very poor category as low temperatures and slow surface winds allowed the accumulation of pollutants. The city's air quality index now stands at 339. Strong winds on Sunday and Monday had led to an improvement in the air quality. Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari laid the foundation stone of 25 national highway projects of 257 km length in Jammu today with an investment of rupees 11,721 crores. Now these are equally important for the rapid movement of defence forces along with the agricultural, industrial and socio-economic progress of the region. Congress MLA from BARELI ADITI Singh joins the BJP. Along with ADITI, BSP MLA Vandana Singh has also joined the BJP. The police has claimed to have killed 3 terrorists in a gunfight at Rambagh area of Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir. IGP Kashmir has said identification and affiliation of the killed terrorists is being ascertained. Parts of Tamil Nadu, including its capital city Chennai, brace for yet another wet spell as heavy showers forecast across the state from the remainder of the week. IMD has said isolated very heavy rainfalls are likely on the cards over some parts of the state from tomorrow until Saturday. In Andhra Pradesh, heavy rainfall is very likely at isolated places over south coastal parts from November 26 to 28. On the same day, thunderstorm accompanied with lightning is also very likely over coastal parts of the state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in the Constitution Day celebrations on the 26th of November. Now, to address the Constitution Day program at Central Hall of the Parliament, he will also inaugurate the Constitution Day celebrations organized by the Supreme Court at Vigyan Bhavan. The 20th meeting of the SCO Council of Heads of the Government will be held tomorrow in Nur Sultan in a virtual format under the chairmanship of Kazakhstan. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will represent India in the meeting. The SCO CHG meeting is held annually and focuses on the trade and economic agenda of the organization and to approve its annual budget. The 6th round of Foreign Office consultations between India and Argentina were held on November 24th, reviewing the multifaceted relations between India and Argentina, which were elevated to strategic partnership in 2019. Both sides reaffirmed their resolve to broaden ongoing bilateral cooperation across a host of areas of mutual interest. Now, the 11th round of Foreign Office consultation between India and Finland was held on November 23rd in Helsinki, discussed the positive trajectory in the bilateral relationship and exchanged views on regional and global issues. Two sides discussed the COVID-19 situation and the vaccination drive in both the countries. Discussions were also covered over climate change and the 2030 SDG agenda. BJP MP Pragya Singh Thakur today appeared before a special court in Mumbai in connection with 2008 Malegaon blast case. court has asked her to remain present when required. On September 29, 2008, an explosive device strapped onto a motorcycle went off near a mosque in Malegaon town in north of Maharashtra. The Bombay High Court at Goa has rejected the plea filed by former journalist Tarun Tejpal seeking an in-camera hearing of the appeal after he was acquitted for raping and sexually assaulting his colleague in 2013. The court has said application filed by Tejpal's counsel rejected for reasons that will be recording separately in writing. The High Court has scheduled the appeal case for hearing on December 6th now. President Ramnath Kovind is in Kanpur for a two-day visit to the city. The president has addressed the birth centenary celebrations of Chaudhry Harmohan Singh Yadav and said India is celebrating 75 years of its independence and there are many unsung freedom fighters that were lost in the pages of history, and during Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav we shall remember them. BJP President JP Nadda inaugurated the BJP's 4 newly constructed district offices in TIRUPPUR in Tamil Nadu and said the party believes that the ideology propagation takes place from the office. He also said office is a place where we have discussions, deliberations, planning, and we go forward in making the party stronger. The Indian Navy's 4th stealth Scorpion-class submarine INS Vela will be getting commissioned tomorrow. The submarine has been built by Mazgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited in collaboration with the Naval Group of France. The previous avatar of INS Vela was commissioned on the 31st of August 1973 and rendered yeoman service to the nation for 37 eventful years before being decommissioned on the 25th of June 2010. Defence Acquisition Council, headed by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, has approved a proposal of a value of Rs 2,236 crores under the category of Make in India. Indian Air Force will procure the GSAT 7C satellite and ground hubs for real-time connectivity of the software-defined radios. It will enhance the ability of our armed forces to communicate beyond the line of sight in a secure mode. Despite the significant decrease in the number of COVID-19 cases across the country, Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan has written to several states, including Nagaland, Sikkim, Maharashtra, Kerala, Goa, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan, West Bengal and Ladakh for reducing the number of daily tests conducted. The Union Health Secretary, in his letter to the states, has stressed that the states should maintain high testing given the recent increase in travelling due to multiple events. He added that there is a need for continued vigil given the unpredictable and contagious nature of the disease. Meanwhile, India continues to witness improvement in COVID-19 condition. The recovery of 10,949 patients in the last 24 hours has increased the cumulative tally of recovered patients to 3,39,57,698. India's recovery rate now stands at 98.33%, which is highest since March 2020. India's weekly positivity rate now stands at 0.93%, which is less than 2% for the last 61 days. India reported a total of 9,283 new cases that were reported in the last 24 hours. The daily positivity rate has been reported to be 0.80%, less than 2% for the last 51 days. The testing capacity across the country continues to be expanded. India has so far conducted over 63.47 crore cumulative tests. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has now crossed 118.44 crore landmark milestone. Now, more than 76,58,000 vaccine doses have been administered on Tuesday as part of the nationwide vaccination program. The rupee slipped by 12 paise to 74.54 against the US dollar on Wednesday. Sensex tumbled by 323.34 points to end at 58,340.99 today. The Nifty also dropped by 88.30 points to close at 17,415.05. Gold prices slipped by 0.07% to close at 47,400 rupees per 10 gram. Silver prices rose by 0.02% to reach at 62,519 rupees per kilogram. Crude oil prices dropped by 0.42% to reach at 5856 rupees per barrel. Goldman Sachs, in its recent Macro Outlook 2022 note, revised upward its projection for gross domestic product to 9.1% for the calendar year of 2022. SBI Research has upgraded India's GDP growth projection for financial year 2022 to the range of 9.3% to 9.6% from its earlier estimates of 8.5% to 9%. The revised GDP estimate of SBI Research in line with RBI's projection of 9.5% GDP growth for the current fiscal year. Union Government and the Asian Development Bank have signed a $300 million loan to strengthen and improve access to comprehensive primary health care in urban areas of 13 states that will benefit over 256 million urban dwellers, including 51 million from the slum areas. The program will be implemented in urban areas across 13 states: Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Haryana, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and West Bengal. COVID-19 cases soar across the world. The virus has so far infected more than 25 crore 90 lakh people worldwide. The world registers more than 23 crore 43 lakh recoveries from COVID-19 so far. COVID-19 has claimed over 51 lakh 83,000 lives worldwide. The US has been the worst hit country in the world since the beginning of the pandemic. The country has over 4 crore 88 lakh cases and fatalities, standing above 7 lakh 96,000. The United Kingdom has registered the highest number of cases in Europe. The virus has infected over 99 lakh people now. France has recorded more than 30,000 new COVID-19 infections in the past 24 hours for the first time since August, as per the Health Minister Olivier Véran. The number of COVID-19 patients in the Dutch hospitals has swelled to its highest level since May in recent weeks. Now, on Tuesday, the country registered some 23,000 new infections in 24 hours. Israel kicked off a nationwide campaign to vaccinate children aged 5 to 11 on Tuesday, hoping to beat down a recent rise in coronavirus infections. The indigenously developed Bangavax COVID vaccine has now received the ethical permission from the Bangladesh Medical Research Council to start the human trials, and the vaccination developed by the local Bangladeshi pharmaceutical company Globe Biotech Limited completed the trial on animals as required by BMRC to grant a permission for human trials. We'll take a quick break and come back with more news on News Express, and do keep watching.
How India can become a global hub for cinema.
We do have great potential, and India can become a great hub for, producing films, and yeah, I completely agree. In India, maybe fiction we are good at, with a lot of big productions happening, and a lot of international cameramen are coming here and working because maybe the post-production facility is cheaper.
I need some kind of platform so that at least I can have some kind of discussions with the OTT platform, or maybe they can show some kind of interest towards the regional cinema as well.
India.
Namaste land.
مرحبا إلى الهند.
Zari India.
Salam India.
Namaste India.
नमस्कार भारत.
Mui
Nous
India.
sommes land.
نحن هنود.
India.
ما هندي هستي.
Mung Hindian.
Salam Hindustan.
We are India.
News. The indigenously developed Bangavax COVID vaccine has now received the ethical permission from the Bangladesh Medical Research Council to start the human trial. The vaccine developed by the local Bangladeshi pharmaceutical company Globe Biotech Limited completed the trial on animals as required by the BMRC to grant permission for human trials. US President Joe Biden has announced to release 50 millions of barrels of oil from the United States Strategic Petroleum Reserve to boost domestic supplies. The White House is also probing possible illegal conduct by oil and gasoline companies, which has kept the gas prices artificially high. The move is being taken in parallel with other major oil-consuming nations, including India, Japan, South Korea and the UK. The US Special Representative for Afghanistan will visit Doha next week for 2 weeks of meetings with the leaders of the Taliban. State Department spokesperson Ned Price said that during the Afghanistan visit of the US Special Representative, discussions will be held on counter-terrorism that include safe passage for US citizens and for the Afghans. In a latest update, the Australian government will list the neo-Nazi group, the base, as a terrorist organisation together with the entirety of the Lebanese Shia political party and militant group Hezbollah. In Iraq, several thousand university students took to the streets of Suleimania in Kurdistan region for the third day in a row, protesting against grant cuts. Security forces used tear gas and water cannons to disperse protesters. Meanwhile, a Turkish court resumed trial over the killing of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi on Tuesday as a journalism watchdog described the case as nearing deadlock and said the hearing needed to include Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's role. The DART spacecraft soared into the night sky from Vandenberg, US Space Force Base, about 150 miles northwest of LA, carried aboard a SpaceX-owned Falcon 9 rocket. The DART payload was released from the booster a few minutes after launch to begin a 10-month journey into space, some 6.8 million miles from Earth. United States President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden arrived in Nantucket, an island off the coast of Massachusetts, where they spent Thanksgiving with their family. US President Joe Biden was joined by his wife, First Lady Day, Dr. Jill Biden, and Vice President Kamala Harris and her husband, Doug Emhoff, at the DC Central Kitchen as they helped to put together Thanksgiving Day meals for the needy. Now, dazzling tree lighting show kicks off Christmas season in Athens. Athens' annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony took place in the capital's main square on Tuesday with a spectacular light and music show. In Athens, the 19-meter Christmas tree installed as part of the festive season has 60,000 bulbs that were lit amidst smoke and rays of light from lamps placed on rooftops around Syntagma Square. Copenhagen's Tivoli's amusement park lit its Christmas tree as well as 1 million lights to mark the beginning of the Christmas season. After almost 2 years of being deprived of normal life, this year's theme is togetherness, closeness and love. An event marking the Kimchi Day was held at the Korean consulate in Los Angeles in the US state of California. The men skillfully added kimchi seasoning to pickled cabbage in Korean consulate in California. They tasted kimchi before, but this is the first time they actually tried to make the dish. A wild giant panda was spotted to forage in a village in Sichuan province. The panda was found sitting at roadside before roaming into the forest. Vietnamese community in Germany united and performed their cultural dance and song in a bid to preserve their culture. As per the country, these are also cradles to nurture and spread Vietnamese culture abroad as the lines to build an advanced Vietnamese culture imbued with national identity are clearly affirmed by the Communist Party of Vietnam. A rare carpet from the Imperial Palace in Beijing's Forbidden City, hidden from the public eye in the last 34 years, fetched 6.88 million euros on Tuesday at an auction at Christie's, Paris. Woven in the Ming Dynasty in the 16th century, the square carpet is adorned with two 5-clawed dragons and a pearl motif at its center and would have been placed on a dais under the emperor's throne. Fetching 6.88 million euros. A manuscript co-authored by Albert Einstein offering a rare insight into the legendary physicist's thinking leading up to his general theory of relativity was sold in an auction for 11.7 million euros. A plethora of colors, folk music and dance, the TIRUPPUR Gusta festival is celebrated in TIRUPPUR Monastery, a famous tourist attraction in Ladakh belonging to the JURASIC sect of Tibetan Buddhism. PV Sindhu has advanced to the next round of the Indonesia Open with a hard-fought victory over Japan's Aya Ohori. Sai Praneeth overcame Francis Toma Junior Popov in a closely contested men's singles match that lasted 46 minutes. Holders Chelsea thrashed Juventus 4-0 to secure their place in the Champions League knockout stage. Chelsea booked Champions League last 16 spot as Trevoh Chalobah restreams, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Timo Werner score. Manchester United secured a precious 2-0 win at Villarreal thanks to a second-half goal by Cristiano Ronaldo and Jadon Sancho. The win means United have qualified for the knockout stages of the competition with a game to spare at home to Young Boys later this month and sit at the top of the Group F on 10 points. Bayern Munich edged past Dynamo Kiev 2-1 to secure top spot in the Champions League Group E with a game to spare. The Bavarians are at the top of the group on 15 points with 5 wins from 5 games. They were also in fact unbeaten in the record extending 21 consecutive Champions League away games. Barcelona and Benfica played out a thrilling goalless draw in the Champions League in Xavi Hernandez's second match in charge on a rainy night at the Camp Nou. The result leaves Barca still not assured of a spot in the knockout rounds of the Champions League pending results from the final match day when they face Bayern Munich away in Group E. The 27th Film Festival List Apart continues its work in Minsk. The event has expanded the geography of the participants of the competition as much as possible. In the 27th Film Festival in Minsk, a conference was organized within its framework which brought together about 100 representatives of the film industry from 45 countries of the world. John Batiste led nominations for the Grammy Awards with 11 nods, followed by Justin Bieber, Doja Cat and HER with 8 apiece. Grammy nominees in the top 3 categories, Album, Song and Record of the Year, were increased to 10 from 8 for the first time. The latest Marvel Studios television series, Hawkeye, appears at first glance to be about the further adventures of the bow-wielding Clint Barton from the Avengers franchise. The first 2 episodes of Hawkeye will stream on Disney Plus today. Locke Cartel, the actor in Seinfeld and Pee-wee's Big Adventure, has passed away at the age of 91. Jurassic World Dominion goes 65 million years into the past in its opening moments, which have been unveiled online on Tuesday ahead of its next release, Summer. The much-awaited trailer of Shahid Kapoor and Mrunal Thakur's Jersey has now released. Jersey is the Hindi remake of the 2019 Telugu movie of the same name. The new posters of Anand L. Rai's Atrangi Re is also out. The film features Sara Ali Khan and Akshay Kumar. Today is the birthday of actor, screenwriter and producer Salim Khan, and he has turned 86 today. Well, that's all we have for you in this edition of Express News. News continues on DD India. Do stay tuned in. Thank you.